Okay, we are live. Welcome, you guys. Happy Friday. And yeah, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. We're going to kind of breeze, I should say, through Young and the Restless. I mean, today was kind of like a lackluster episode, but I found some things very interesting to talk about with Y&R. But I don't think we're going to need to dwell on a lot of it because it really wasn't a cliffhanger to me. I mean, in my opinion. Hey, Rosalie, what's going on? How are you today? Hey, Joyce, daycare with the kids. Aisha, Cheryl Hines. How you guys doing? Happy Friday. Hey, Melissa Spencer. Oh, wait a minute. Let me cut my phone. Cut my phone down. There we go. I thought it was already down. My mistake. She said, Aisha was like, nope, let's do B&B. Well, I do have some Y&R fans, and so, I have to kind of at least touch on it just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're not going to spend a lot of time on Y&R, but we're definitely going to dive into Bold. Anyway, welcome, you guys. Happy Friday, TGIF. We hit the cliffhanger episodes, if you want to call Y&R a cliffhanger episode. But we're going to be discussing both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for November 1st. Oh my God, we've made it to the 11th month of the year. Time is flying. Next month is Christmas. Later this month is Thanksgiving. I mean, here come the holidays. Summer is gone. I guess depending on where you are, because I hear some people in Texas, it's still pretty warm down there. But if you're living in the upper Midwest, the upper Northwest, or the Northeast, you're probably starting to get chilly temps. So it's definitely reminding us that we are headed into the winter months in about another month and a half. Also, don't forget, you guys, to set your clocks back. Fall back this weekend. I think it's Sunday. So don't get up too early. Usually when you fall back, you gain an hour. So you gain an hour of extra sleep on Sunday morning. So remember all of that. Oh my God, it's 49 of you guys here. Oh, Mari says it's cold in Cali. All right. What part of Cali are you in? Warm in South Carolina? Okay, yeah, Delmonica Y&R didn't have a real forceful cliffhanger. But you know what? Without further ado, we're going to talk about it a little bit. So, we had this whole scene with, Summer. And looking at the spoilers for the week of November 4th through November 8th, look like Summer trying to get her man back, because there's a spoiler for later next week that talks about how Summer is going to try to cause trouble for Claire and Kyle, which means that with all this civility that we had in today's episode, they're getting along. They read Harrison a bedtime story together, and he gave her a hug and support, especially since she's going through all of those things with what's happening with her brother Daniel. It looked like the writers might just be trying to have Summer go back with Kyle. Now, I want to ask you guys in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat if you would like to see Kyle and Summer back together again. Skyle. Or would you not? Give me a 2 if you would not want them together. So a yes, put those two together. A no, do not put those two back together. So let me see. In my opinion, I would give it a 2. So let me know what your thoughts are. I kind of want to see and gauge what you guys think about that, because that's not the only spoiler. The only spoiler I saw coming up next week, and you will hear my spoiler video over the weekend, but she's not going to be happy about what's going on with Chance and his investigation and Daniel and all of this stuff. So it's causing problems between Summer and Chance. So it look like Chance might be a free man pretty soon. And I think I remember that Bree was the one that actually kind of projected that happening. I think she was talking about that on Wednesday night. I see a bunch of 2s in the chat. I only see maybe 1 or 2 people that put a 1 in the chat that would like to see them. Melissa, Joyce, and Gabe would like to see Summer and Kyle get back together. I guess we'll have to see. But when Claire came in, Claire is looking like, okay, what's going on over here? You two exes, Harrison's parents, is looking a little bit too cozy for me. And Kyle was like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm fine. He was like, well, the look on your face looked like you're green with jealousy. And she was like, oh no, I'm fine. And of course we saw Kyle plant a kiss in on her. So I guess just to, reassure her not to be insecure about the friendly relationship between him and Summer. However, don't get too comfortable, Claire, because your cousin, which is Kyle's ex, is coming for your new little boo thing. Okay, so you're going to have a little bit of competition in this sweeps month for Kyle. The question is, as much as Summer might try to get him back, will Kyle actually want Summer back? So, and this was kind of a continuation coming off the Halloween episode, because we had Harrison with a whole lot of candy. That was a lot of candy for one little kid. Now, it looked like Summer and Kyle ate a little bit of it, but they were laughing and talking, had a couple drinks. Summer got real comfortable until Claire came there, and she was like, yeah, I think I got some work to do. I'm going to go home. She then heads over to, she left, but she's headed over to that Overlook. But let's talk about the Overlook. Well, I'll save that for last. So then, before Claire got there, she had a conversation with her parents about whether or not she'll take the job to keep Aria, babysit, or work at Newman, or work for her grandmother. And she was like, nope, I made a decision. I'm working for Grandma. And I don't think they were expecting that. They probably thought that she was just going to go ahead and work with Tessa and Mariah and the baby. But she's like, no, I want to work with my grandma. So Victoria and Cole was like, well, I think you need to get the full picture before you decide to go work with Grandma Nikki. So they told her about everything, hey, it's going to be a situation where they're trying to acquire Chancellor from Billy. And she was like, do you think Victor will win? And Victoria was like, we're talking about my dad. Victor wants, Victor gets. So, yeah. Anyway, that whole conversation, they filled her in on the dark side of Victor Newman. And it seems like, she's okay with it for now, but I guess we'll have to see. That's the problem. They promised that company, when was this? This go back to like July, I think. June, July, something like that, right? Anyway, they've been trying to get that company for the last 4 months or so, and it didn't happen, and it ain't happening at this point. But right now, as we know, that's going to be their focal point, according to Victor. Now, here's the interesting thing. This was the other storyline before we dive into Bold and the Beautiful. The conversation between Tessa and Daniel. Honestly, here's my opinion. Now, I know that Tessa is in a relationship with Mariah. And we know how those two got into a relationship. Obviously, they're bi. Because, Mariah has been with, other men. And Tessa was involved with her brother. I'm wondering if they will end up bringing. Oh, you got my message? Let me check. Let me see. Hold on. Let me double check. Give me a second. Oh, cool. I'm gonna bring you up, girl. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me bring you up. Okay. I'm gonna bring her up because I wanna talk about. I don't know if she want to talk about the other two storylines, but okay, there you go. Hey, Bree girl.
Hi, hello.
How's your son first?
He's doing okay. He's been kind of in and out of sleep. I feel like it gets kind of worse at night, but he's okay right now. I can do a little quick midday chat.
Okay, I figured you wanted to pop in, especially on Bold. We were basically about to wrap up Y&R. I didn't know if you want to tap in a little bit on Summer and Kyle, or that conversation with Victoria and Claire, or if you just want to bypass that and just talk about Daniel and Tessa.
I can hit on it real quick for the Summer and Kyle. I knew that was happening. Mm-hmm. I knew it ever since the lawsuit. And let's see, Claire and Victoria and Cole. I know that was just kind of funny to me. I'm glad that Victoria kind of shared what was really going on with her parents trying to go after Chancellor. I don't think it's really going to faze Claire any bit. But Tessa and Daniel, I know we had this in our group chat. I guess it's just you and me who see it. Mm-hmm. But these two, they have great on-screen chemistry. They were chem testing earlier this year.
Right.
I honestly feel they're going to go down this route.
I honestly think so too.
Yeah, especially since he's like, I need to clear my name. I know I didn't do this. I think some way, somehow, she's going to help him. Mm-hmm. Especially since she also knows Sharon's whereabouts. Mm-hmm. Well, the fact that she was out of town, the fact that she lied about where she was to Mariah, I think she's going to help feed this man clues, and he's going to figure out for himself that it was Sharon who did this. I think she's going to help her, and I think that's also going to upset Mariah too. Like and what if Tessa sides more with Daniel and not with Sharon?
Ooh,
in this case?
Yeah, that will cause a ripple effect. Yes, because if oh my God, I didn't even think about that part. You might have hit on something there. But I obviously do feel the chemistry. Watching it, there's no reason why they gave us almost an entire episode where they focused on these two. Why would they give us that?
Exactly. Like I said, we see it. I said that I'm like, look, people don't be surprised if these two get together because they've both been with men.
That's what I said. Both been with men. That's exactly what I said. I mean, obviously they're bi. I'll just say that because Mariah has been with men, and Tessa obviously was with Mariah's brother when they got together. Now, that's not to say maybe they might not go down this road. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I honestly think that they might just put these two together. I mean, they got the chemistry.
They kind of look cute together, and he has more chemistry with her than he did Heather, personally speaking.
I agree. These two got more chemistry than Heather. Than Heather and Daniel. Mm-hmm. And Lily and Daniel, because I was never a fan of those two getting back together, in my opinion. I just didn't see it. Not at this late in the game, Lily and Daniel. It's like, okay, that ship has sailed.
And I feel like that was like good for a certain time period, you know? Mm-hmm. And it shows, like, Lily and Daniel were not in the same mental headspace at, that point in juncture. But the way that Tessa and Daniel kind of bond and kind of connect, I really like it. This little subtle flirtation that they have. Like, I see it. It's clear as day for me.
Okay, so I'm going to ask in the chat, if you give me a rating from 1 to 10. If you like Daniel and Tessa, put a 10. If you think that they're absolutely not, then a 1. So rate them from 1 to 10. I'm going to give them a 10. I like them. What do you think?
I'm with it too. They get a 10 for me. I want to see what direction this goes in. But I would not be surprised if this woman ends up helping this man clear his name. And she might think that she's also trying to help clear Sharon's name too. But then she's going to find out, yeah, Sharon had something to do with all of this. This is going to cause a huge rift between Tessa and Mariah, in my opinion.
Yep, because if she's supporting Daniel, and with Phyllis sniffing around next week, and Sharon is supposed to be in a corner, and Daniel is going up, he's also going to try to, as we saw in the promo, try to confront Sharon again. I don't think she's going to be happy about that. And like I said, Tessa supporting him. Oh yeah, they're going to be on opposite teams.
Oh yeah, without question. So I don't know. I think Daniel might got himself a little boo thing in the making, and I'm here for it. They're cute together.
I mean, she was like trying to take care of him. She was like, "Go eat that burrito," and they was joking. And I thought maybe something was going to happen because the restaurant was empty. And she said, why don't you help me take down all of the Halloween decorations? And I'm like, and she said, since everybody is gone, it's just me and you. And I'm like, what y'all finna do?
And I don't know.
Because they started, they both had a drink, right, Bree?
He was drinking. I can't remember if she was drinking, but she sat down. They were comfortable. They were flirting a little bit. They were talking about like Tessa's tips, which I do remember when they were doing those previous Kim tests with those few months ago. Like, I see it happening. And like, plus, they can't keep certain couples together forever. Right. Eventually, they're going to break up. Some of these couples are about to be past tense, like Chance and Summer. Yeah. She already put that man in past tense.
I'm wondering, because, I mean, obviously, he's coming out of recurring. He's the chief of police, right? So, I'm wondering if maybe I'm so pissed off at Lily, but you think they would put him with Lily?
Lily don't deserve nobody, but I mean, she really don't. She don't. I'm sorry. I wanted to root for that, but no, she don't deserve no damn body. Since they're bringing Elena back, I'll be okay with that.
Right. So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I would be open to Tessa and Daniel. I really would be.
Me too. I see it. I would not be surprised if this woman helps this man clear his name.
Yep. Which means that it would convict Sharon, because I don't know, but I'm wondering if they're going to find some things next week.
I mean, she knows the ins and outs of what's been going on with Sharon through Mariah, and everything that Sharon's been going through. She knows that Mariah was also trying to check to see if Sharon was taking her meds. She knows the fact that Mariah was lied to about Sharon's whereabouts and how to go on a wild goose chase, and the fact that she was missing the day of what happened to Heather. She knows the ins and outs of what's going on. So I think she might end up helping this man.
I agree. So, yeah, even though it wasn't really that big of a cliffhanger, it was telling, because they had the scene over at the Abbott estate, it was all right, you know what I'm saying? And then that little section where they was talking, meaning Victoria and Cole was talking to Claire. But this whole thing where they kind of slided out for these two, we haven't seen them in a scene in months. And now all of a sudden you do this on the second day of November sweeps. Oh yeah, something's going on with those two.
Oh yes, without question. There's a lot of couples about to be formulated over on Y&R, and even with Summer and Kyle, you see the little boy Harrison. He's so like, "Oh, I want this,"
Yep.
and he was also trying to get them like, "Come read me a story. Let's have dinner together. Let's do this." I'm like, "See, this is
Wait,
appropriate."
you see Jay? Jay said Tessa and Daniel have no romantic chemistry. They have a friend chemistry like Phyllis and Michael. Listen, you tried to drop that in the group chat yesterday, Jay.
And look at that. Look at our chat. Look at the soapies. They not seeing what you seeing, Jay.
Yeah, I think
They
you're in the
saw that
minority.
chemistry.
Right, you're in the minority. I mean, I was on Facebook, and across Facebook, everybody is like, "Is something going on or going to happen between Daniel and Tessa?" So it's not just me and Bree.
Yeah. We knew what we saw.
Exactly. And they wouldn't put them two in a scene together after all that time unless they're going somewhere with this.
Because what were they using Tessa for? Was like what was the last scene? Her and the stuff was going on with Arya.
Right.
Other than that, they really haven't used her.
Nope. Jay Money said Keisha agreed. Well, y'all still in the minority. That's 2 against the Soapies, Facebook group, me, Bree. He's so funny.
I know. We still love you, Jay. We still love you guys.
You still my mod.
Yeah.
All right. Jay is our guy. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about Bo. Girl, how many in the chat?
Oh my goodness. I think they all rushed over here as soon as the episode. 134.
Listen.
Rushed over here.
Do you know when I originally signed on, it went from like 2 to 49.
They all saw that episode. Like, look, we all had to talk about it. This is understandable. I was just in shock. This was, yeah, I couldn't believe it, especially after yesterday. This girl couldn't, as much as she runs her mouth, she couldn't run her mouth to defend herself.
I don't understand why does she want it? You at the point where you about to be out the door. At least say it was for Carter. Why couldn't she just say, listen, I didn't want nobody to know this. She could even tell Katie, because she had a conversation with Katie first. Now maybe she didn't want to because Carter is Katie's ex. I don't know. But let's back up a little bit. Let's take it with the conversation with Carter and Eric. So
this was so awkward.
Well, here's my thing. I'm on the fence with the Hope Steffy thing, okay? But I'm on Eric's side on this one. You mean to tell me I've been running my company for almost 40 years with no debt, and you want me to go get some? Oh, no.
This was so awkward.
I couldn't be mad at Eric for saying that.
Me either. He's allowed to run his company how he chooses, and then all he did was just pitch an idea. That's all.
Right. And I mean, because he asked him, he gave him a chance to explain it, and he said, how are we expected to do all that? You know that costs a amount of money. You think, I mean, does that mean you're gonna go and get loans? That's what we would have to do. And he said, yeah. I'm like, dude, that ain't how you
that's not how you pitch an idea. But I mean, I understand. I do give both points. At the end of the day, Eric is going to call the shots on his own company because it's his family company, and rightfully so. And I don't think that Carter should be mad at it. I think that he has a great idea, and he keeps talking about legacy. Go start your own. Especially at the age that he's at, he can start his own legacy. He doesn't have to worry about coming home to a wife and a bunch of kids. He can really pour into the legacy that he's trying to pitch to Eric. Just do it for yourself.
Yeah, I don't understand why he was so mad when Eric walked away. That look that he gave him, I'm like, dude, what are you mad for? You gave a pitch. The owner said no. The founder said no. I haven't had any debt in this company in 40 years, and I ain't taking on none right now. You can't be mad at that, attorney. You can't be mad at that, financial COO. You should already know what the numbers look like anyway.
Right. I agree. And he really shouldn't get hurt because just like Lily, they are employees.
Exactly. I mean, I can't be. I'm Team Eric on this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen. If I've been able, most businesses have some form of debt because as things evolve, prices go up for supply chains and logistics and paying out employees. That can get expensive. And he's been running this business without debt for 40 years. Oh please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, I can't be mad at Eric. He's a forester. That's a forester business. And they keep making that clear this whole week.
Yeah.
That we're foresters. So, and my thing with Carter is if you have the access to people who be happy to invest and you can reach out to banks and get loans and do all of this. If you're able to do the legwork, do it for yourself. Formulate a whole company. You got this. You don't need the foresters to use them. And the thing is, they would profit it more than he would.
Right. If
this were to be a success. He would still just be paid a salary as an employee.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I don't know about that.
And the rest of the episode was about Steffy. First, she was upset and told her parents about what happened, about catching Hope on top of her husband and all of this and that. She told Ridge, it's either her or me.
Ooh. When she said that, I was like, ooh. And the look on Ridge's face, he didn't even think about his daughter. He thought about Brooke. You can tell in that man's face. He was like, I know this is going to cause issues between him and his Logan.
So wait a minute, Bree. So you think that he was thinking about Brooke in that moment?
Yes.
Even though he sided with Steph?
He was thinking about Brooke. As soon as she asked him to decide between her and Hope, I think he was thinking about Brooke. Because he's been trying to play the monkey in the middle, trying to be peacemaker, because one minute he'll side with Steffy, next minute he'll try to defend Hope, and I think he always keeps Brooke in the back of his mind when he does that. And here's this instance where she is flat out asking him, look, you need to back me up with firing her. I mean, this is Brooke's daughter. He knows what he's about to go home to. She don't live with him. He lives with her. So that affects his place where he gonna live at. That's gonna affect the work dynamics between those two. He's always been more concerned about Brooke's feelings than his daughter's feelings at all times.
So would you think if that was the case and Brooke was paramount in his mind, wouldn't he kind of back out of the Steffy thing then if he wasn't going to be 10 toes down with Steph?
I think in this particular case, he wanted to be there for his daughter. I think in this case,
right,
this was an instance where he couldn't ignore it. And he was not going to have his daughter walk out the company. That just wasn't going to happen. He'll probably be perfectly fine getting kicked out of Brooke's house than having his daughter leave that company.
Yeah, I got you. Yep. All right. Well, Hope walks in and tried to say it's not what you think. And Steffy once again say, well, if it was not for my husband, you had on lingerie for who? And she still didn't say anything. Right now, you just got the axe in the other room. You got your pink slip. You might as well start singing like a Tweety Bird at this point. You ain't got nothing to lose. Tell him that I was dressing up for Carter. I don't understand.
It could have been anybody. It could have been Elmo.
Liam. She could have used Liam. Liam just tried to...
That's exactly what I was thinking. Why didn't you say Liam? Especially since you knew that that man wanted you back. You knew. But anybody could have been a male model. It could have been Pinocchio. It could have been anybody. Say a name. How is it she can run her mouth about Steffy and about the Forresters, but she's asked a direct question? She can't lie on her feet.
Brie,
Nothing.
I mean, all she had to do, I mean, she was trying on her mother's lingerie. So, okay, let's just say she want to take the self-righteous road and not lie, right?
Mm-hmm.
She could have easily said, look, my mom's stuff just came in. I wanted to try it on to see what it looked like. I wasn't trying it on specifically for anybody that you know. Well, I mean, or however she wanted to frame that. But I was trying it on. I thought it was cute. I had no idea Finn was coming in there. I heard somebody on the other side of the wall, but I guess the problem would have messed her up when Finn said what Hope said. I've been waiting for you. Here I come. So, I mean, he could have repeated that and said, well, she claimed that she was trying on lingerie, but she was like, well, I've been waiting for you. Well, who are you waiting for? See, it still comes back. She's going to have to say it was somebody. She could have, if she didn't want to say, she had options. She could have said Liam, or she just should have said Carter. She ain't got nothing to lose at this point. Steffi had already fired her before she came into the CEO office.
She could have said anybody. It could have been a teddy bear. It could have been Casper. It could have been a stick figure. Anybody, anything. She could have said it was someone outside of work that she invited to come. Like, the fact that she was stuck and she was choking up on any words and she just looking there just stupid. That's how she got herself fired. All Steffy was asking for is a name. A name. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't Finn, say who. Because Hope made a very valid point. How could she predict that Finn was going to be there?
Yeah, that made perfect sense to me. And I'm like, girl, say something. You don't want to rat out Carter, but at this point, it's not going to really matter. Say something. And she would not defend herself until she got in front of those girls in the hallway. I'm like, now you want to speak up and be bad and almighty. I'm like, girl, you could have just said, I was in there for Carter. I'm busted. Yes, I'm dating the COO. Now what? What you going to do? It's not your husband now. It wasn't for him. It was for Carter. Now what? What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. But and she could have said anybody. She could have said J Money. She could have said anybody. Anybody. But it was very smart. And this is why I feel a lawsuit's about to happen. There's been a lot of legalities, they've been painting a pretty picture, and I think this is the direction they're going to go in with this. She said she pumped up her chest in front of those girls, and we got witnesses.
Girl, they called Charlie to exit her out the building. You hear me?
And we ain't seen him forever. She could have said Charlie.
She even said that. But Steph said, was it for Charlie? Oh, remember she said that?
Oh my goodness. They could have said she could have said anything. But something tells me, like, especially since Carter's a lawyer.
The problem is, I mean, if we want to go by California law, it's an at-will state, so you can get fired for any reason or no reason at all. Mm-hmm. However, for soapy drama, they might give him some sort of a loophole, but I mean, what would they use?
They've been harping on the fact that Steffi has been making her decisions out of personal vendettas against the Logans and blah, 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 blah. And that she was dangling that girl's employment because of stuff going on with her husband. Her husband's not an employee there. They could easily say, like, oh, this is a wrongful fire. I mean, she could, if a lawyer says that they have a case, they can run with that. So Carter can easily say, okay, we have the case, and we're going to see what we can do and gamble with that.
I don't even think they're going to go that route. I have a feeling that Bill Spencer is somehow going to be involved, because once Brooke and Ridge collapse, which is why I think they moved Katie out the way, and then I might not be, because she's talking to Bill about Poppy next week, but the thing is, it doesn't look like maybe Katie is going back to him. Brooke could be sashaying her butt over there, and of course she gonna be pissed off about Ridge not taking her side, and then he's gonna go in defense about the dressmaker. And I don't know, it could, like you say, Bree, go that route, but I think it's gonna be a little bit something else, where maybe they team up to cause problems for the company instead of going through a whole lawsuit or litigation.
Can I answer a couple of the chat questions? Angela Atkins said, Bree, how can Carter represent Hope if he isn't he a Forrester lawyer? He can probably represent her if he decides to quit.
Yeah, he would have to quit.
Yeah, Eric doesn't want to go along with his ideas. He's tired of what's going on over at Forrester. More than likely and stupidly, he would quit. And I do understand where you're coming from, Jenna. The law is the law, but this is also a soap. And this is in the soap world, anything kind of just goes. So I wouldn't put it past him to find some sort of loophole to where she would try to sue, because she made it a point that, hey, this is my family company too. My mom, as much as she'd been bending over backwards for all the Forrester men, she made a permanent seat for me to be in this family too.
Well, here's the other part of this too, is the fact that, number one, she should have said something. Number two, her line has been failing for almost a year.
I agree.
So, even if they said, well, what reason did you fire her? Well, first of all, the Hope for the Future line, we tried. We gave her an additional 3 quarters to bring in revenue with this line, and it has not. And to add on top of what Steffi thinks it is, but maybe they'll have to bring to light their relationship. But the thing is, Carter, at one point, their attorney could say to Carter, well, Carter Walton, did you not, according to the numbers, agree with the Forresters that the line was failing? At what point did you realize, even though the numbers haven't changed, that we should be optimistic about this? When you got in a relationship with her, is that when you? And so this could go back and forth. I wouldn't be interested in that. I would be more interested in some sort of a hostile takeover.
Now, wouldn't legalities apply to that? Because how could she have a hostile
What I mean is by going with Bill and Brooke take her line away from Forrester, or the fragrance, the formula or something somebody was saying. If they team up with Bill, see
the belief formula.
The belief formula. If she decides that, you know what, I don't want no part of this company, I'm out of this contract, which I don't know what's been set up by Brooke. But if she decides to decline from the line and Bill figure out a way to create something, that would impact that company greatly, because her line is significant to Forrester. Hope's wasn't. Brooke's is.
That is true. And so is that patent. Like, he put his lawyer hat on for a reason, and I honestly think this man is about to quit his job.
Yep.
And play lawyer to the Logan women or something to that degree. And I'm really curious to see the direction of November sweeps, because Brooke, she's not going to have.
Oh, he said, Jay Money said, let him on real quick. Wait a minute. Hold on one second. Let me get Jay in here. Because Jay said, somebody said, did you see Jay Money comment? He said, let him on real quick. Let me see.
Come on, Jay.
I sent you an invite, Jay. Let's see if he jump in. Hopefully it went through. Let me see. Oh, there you go. Hey, Jay, what you got?
Hey, look, so I just went and watched like the last little couple of minutes of it. and a vote. And two things that strike me. First, Carter got to be hitting it next week. By the way she told him, by the way she told him, can you please just get me out of here? And then he was like, I got you. And then they kissed. I think he hitting next week for sure. Then the second thing, the way he looked at that Forster Creation sign and said, they're not going to get away with this. I'm like, what? I think he's about to leave Forster. I think he's about to quit Forster, make his own company, bring Hope with him, and then bring, like you said, I don't know if they'll go as far as letting Brooke leave, but I think it's going to at least be Carter and Hope starting a new business. I think they making him have like these looks like he wants revenge and all this stuff. I think Carter is actually about to take a step up on this show and start his own business. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to that.
I agree with that. But here's my thing. Why would Brooke still stay at Forster after they let go of her daughter?
That's a good question.
I think because you know how we talked about Ridge playing both sides. At the end of the day, I think he'll like smooth things over with her. And then with the bedroom line being successful again, I don't know. And she's so synonymous with Forster just because of her history with it. I don't necessarily see her leaving. And I think she'll be happy knowing that Carter's taking care of her daughter and they're starting something together. I think that'll be enough for her to where she wouldn't leave. Like if Hope didn't have anything to fall back on, then maybe she would stand up and like kind of like take a leave to stand up for her daughter. But I think because she'll probably start whatever Carter is going to do, Hope will probably be along with him. I think that's enough to keep Brooke at Forster. And then maybe Brooke will want to stay at Forster too to kind of like take down Steffy a little bit because she still has like her co-CEO position. So maybe she'll stay there. And then Katie's still there too. So I can see Brooke still staying at Forster knowing that Hope's going to be taken care of by Carter.
So Tanisha Gray, she posted a comment saying Thomas was fired fast because of what he did to Brooke, and that was personal too. So, I mean, they do fire folks for personal reasons. I mean, nobody had a problem over at Forster for that.
They really making Carter look like, I'm kind of like surprised at that. Like, he's really looking like he's about to be an enemy to them.
He got his super simp cape on, nice designer cape on, and a Corvette, and he got a Corvette.
He out here mean mugging, super simping. He's doing it all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting next week. Oh my goodness.
I honestly can't see this one. I can't see Brooke staying at that company. Could you imagine the confrontations between? I can't wait for her to get in Steffy's face. I can't wait to see what that conversation's going to be like, and see if Ridge is really going to step in and still take his daughter's side in front of Brooke. There's no way. For one, there's no way that man's going to be living over at Brooke's house. There's just no way.
So part of what we saw in that promo is, Brooke I guess when Ridge told her about what happened and that she fell on top of Finn and whatnot, and she was like, but it didn't happen. It's not like that. I wonder, is Brooke gonna spill the beans on the whole Carter Hope relationship to Ridge?
Yeah, because the way she said, you've got this all wrong. Right. It almost looks like and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't think they'll have her tell him in that moment though. That'll probably be I think that's like a good little tease that they showed, but that's definitely her mindset. Like the perspective is like if you only knew who she actually is involved with. But I don't think she'll tell him. Not quite yet.
But I don't understand because at this point she's gone. The girl have nothing to lose at this point. It's not like she's still on the clock or on the payroll at this point. Why not just say it was Carter now?
I agree.
I think she would want to at least have a sit down with Carter and Hope before she reveals that.
But I mean, even Hope didn't say that. Steffy had already fired her in the other room. We were just talking about that, Jay. And Steffi asked her once again in the CEO office, then if it wasn't for my husband, what were you wearing it for? And she just stood up there like a deer in headlights. And I'm like, girl, say something.
Anybody. I even said you. She should have said you, Jay. She should have said Jay Money.
I was in here cracking up when you said that. No, she didn't. But at the same time, I think that's probably something Brooke will even think of. She'll probably say, "Well, she didn't even reveal it then when she had the chance, so it must be a reason." So I think she would at least talk to Hope before she would, just blurt that out to Riz like that. Because Brooke is probably thinking, my goodness, she didn't even reveal what she was doing there. So I gotta at least talk to her, ask her where's her mind at, what is she thinking?
Jay, so let's move Brooke to the side of this. Do you think that Hope should have just go ahead and say why she was wearing it?
I think that yes. Well, not the full reason. I don't think she needed to say it was Carter. She really, and y'all talked about this, she really didn't give any kind of explanation at all. She just stood there kind of dumbfounded, and it's like y'all said, she could have came up with any excuse. All she had to do was say it with some confidence. Like, all she had to do was, my mother's lingerie line came in, I wanted to try it out. She could have even said that she was thinking about modeling for the line, like Carter and her discussed.
Right.
She didn't even have to mention Carter brought that up, but she could have said, it was something that's been on my mind of possibly modeling, and I wanted to try it out. Okay. And that's all she would have to say.
But I guess my question was, should she have just said it was him? She had nothing to lose at this point.
I would say no, only because before Eric shot him down, the family was still saying they were considering Carter's ideas. But if it would have came out that this girl was, trying out the lingerie and she wanted Carter to see it, and basically would have implicated that her and Carter had something going on, Steffi would have been, because she's been trying to figure out why has Carter been having this sudden change and his defense of Hope. If she would have heard that, then she would have been like, she would have shot everything down. Because she would have said
she had already shot it down. She already fired her in the design room.
True. I meant, but because his expansion ideas is just more than Hope's line. So I feel like if she would have found out anything, romantic was going on between Carter and Hope, she would have shut down any ideas Carter had at that point. Just because she would have felt like it was all motivated by this Logan getting her hands on him.
Yeah. So Bridget Jackson in the comment section says no, because it's none of Steffi nor anyone else's business what's going on between her and Carter. The only problem with that is that she brought that business into the Forrester company. So, she walked in on it in a design room that's built for any and everybody to walk through. That could have been anybody. That could have been Eric. It didn't have to be Steph.
I agree. And on top of that, Carter is still a COO at that company. He wasn't terminated. So if they get wind that he was involved with a former employee and they already don't trust his judgment, they could easily just fire that man and say, okay, you two can go ahead and carry on your merry way. And they can go from there. And I think that's probably why Hope was making sure she didn't say anything. And I would find it would be hard for me to believe that Brooke would actually, let the cat out of the bag about Hope and Carter. Because she keeps a lot of stuff close to the chest. If Hope tells her to keep it to your chest, she'll do that. Same way she did the thing about Thomas and her feelings for Finn. She's kept all that close to the chest. I don't think she's going to say anything about Carter because he's still over there. But I can't see Brooke staying over there. I really cannot, because she's not going to want to work with Steffi. And the fact that Ridge backed Steffi up, she gonna have a lot of issues with that man. I don't see her staying there just trying to keep everything professional. Everything is always personal with Brooke. She gonna feel away, and I think that she's gonna stop all the Brooke bedroom stuff. She's going to do whatever to go support her daughter. I don't think she's gonna stay over at Forrester. Me personally.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't know, because when you think about all the stuff that Brooke's gone through when she was going through the rivalry with Stephanie, the stuff with Taylor, from what I recall, she's never left Forrester. If anything, like, she became CEO once and tried to take them all on. Like, her solution has never been to actually leave the company. And I can totally see Hope telling her, no, Mom, I don't want you to leave your job. You've been there for decades. You have a legacy there. I want you to keep your legacy. And Brooke would probably say, okay. And like I said, going back to knowing if they do pursue this and have Carter start his own business, and he's obviously going to bring Hope with him, I think that'll be enough for Brooke. And Hope will tell her, don't leave. Don't forget, her sister, Brooke's sister, Katie, is still working there. So I can see them like saying, we Logan's got to stick together, and Brooke and Katie still stay there. Also, like I said, isn't Brooke officially co-CEO with Steffy? I don't see Brooke giving up that position of power just like that. Like, and it making Steffy feel like she's completely won. I can see Brooke staying there just to spite Steffy from firing her daughter and make sure she keeps her on her toes.
As far as I know, she was handling like the day-to-day for Ridge because he wanted to focus more on designing. But when it came to that decision that Carter presented, Brooke wasn't in that room as co-CEO or be able to make any decisions as far as the company.
Wasn't it what we talking about with Hope?
By that being Forrester's company, Steffi, Ridge, and Eric being in there was enough. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, she's
necessarily have to be in there.
Yeah, she's not co-CEO. She's just on an executive team. Those two are still co-CEO. He just levied some of his, I guess, what they call it, duties. Some of the duties that he have to her. Exactly. But she's still on the, she's not, she don't have the official title of a co-CEO. She's just on the.
So then she could easily walk.
Taking care. That's weird though, because I felt like he was saying that, because even when he brought it up to her, he was saying that she was like, me and Steffi would have to work together. I thought that he had gave her the co-CEO.
Nope.
He just didn't want to do the administrative stuff.
Right.
But he wanted to call the shots.
Right. This is gonna get real crazy, and I mean, I gotta say it was a great cliffhanger. What I'm gonna get because we got, I don't know if Keisha be able to be on tonight, and I got both of y'all. I'm about to turn this into the weekly chat. But anyway, because I know you ain't got a lot of time, do you, Bree?
I got a tad bit of time, just a little bit.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You trying to keep it? You trying to keep it going?
Yeah. Let's kind of recap this week. I mean, how many people in this chat?
Almost 160. Wow. Guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, 157.
So, you know what? Let's talk about this week then. What did y'all think about? Well, I mean, because dang, it seemed like today's episode of Bold kind of wiped away everything else that went on early this week.
Yeah. I think it was everything that was leading up to what we see now. Mm-hmm. And I honestly, I cannot wait for next week. We get Luna and Poppy back. Yes, I said Poppy.
You're so funny.
But I want to see the division formulate over at Forrester Creations, because Katie, she made it very clear. Look, I'm a Logan. We gonna stick together. Mm-hmm. Katie doesn't have a huge stake as far as over there at that company. She's just an employee, but she's also rich and wealthy. She can walk, and she know Bill can back her up.
Oh yeah, Bill will most definitely take care of Katie and Brooke.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm glad you brought Katie up, though, because I was watching the interactions between her and Hope today, and like you said, she was so strong and. Saying she was there by her, stuff like that, but she don't know about Hope being with Carter.
Nope.
So even though her and Bill's situation is kind of like weird right now, I want to know how is Katie gonna react when she finds out Hope and Carter are kind of like becoming a thing. If that's gonna make her feel any kind of way.
She had no choice but to deal with it. I mean, Carter said, like, look, Katie and I are still friends, and that's pretty much it. She can't stop this man from seeing her niece, and clearly Hope is going to do what she wants. I mean, she cannot like it, But I mean, what can Katie do? She doesn't even want that man anymore.
But because I think she would be on, even if she find out that Hope is dating Carter or interested, I think she would be okay with it. Those sisters have always been okay with being with each other's exes. So I mean, but with this firing, that's going to supersede anything. So I think Katie is going to be all team Hope, no matter if she dating Carter or not.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
I was going to say, let's not forget Donna. Could you imagine what she about to say to Eric about his granddaughter? Like, there's going to be a huge division, and also the holidays are coming up. Where are people going to eat at?
Shoot, Steph can eat at home with Ridge and Tay and the kids. Ivy can go over there too, or Ivy can go over to Eric's house.
She can be at Eric and Donna's, and then Brooke could throw her on.
Yeah, she can throw on Logan Fest.
Yep. Ooh, this is going to be a huge division. Huge.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Where will Ridge go?
Ridge can be over there. He can go. You know, he'll go over there with Steph and the kids, and Taylor will more than likely love to have him over there.
Oh, absolutely. That's the person who's winning in all of this. She was just happy, just smiling and everything. She's like, oh, it's just unfortunate, but it had to happen.
So I'm looking at the previous days, and like y'all said, Monday, Steffi shared her suspicions and Brooke interrogates Hope and Carter. So that's when they got caught. Ridge made a decision behind Steffi's back about bringing in Ivy. Y'all got anything to say about that?
Expected. Yeah. This is how they usually handle business.
Carter comes to Hope's defense. That was before the whole thing when Steffi was telling her to stay away from her husband. And then, of course, she walked in the next day and found her on top of Finn, which was yesterday. And then it led up to today. So pretty much it was like one run-on storyline all of this entire week, except for the conversation with Deacon and Sheila and Carter. But, you know.
I forgot about that. I'm so sick of them talking about this woman's toes. She really tried to feed this man, like, what was it, like toe pops or something like that? I'm like, lady.
Toe cookies, girl. Toe cookies.
Like.
Apparently, you said it must have tasted like a toe, right? Because you said he took a bite of that cookie and then threw it over his shoulder.
He sure did. Hey, Jay, what did you think about the conversation between Eric and Carter about him saying that we're not gonna get no debt and all of that? What did you think? Were you agreeing with Carter? I mean, agreeing with with Eric?
I do like Carter's ideas. I really do. And I think at the end of the day, if they did do that, he would make Forrester better. But it is Eric's company. You know what I mean? It's still that man's decision. And if he feels like, and I kind of felt like Eric would kind of lean that way because he's old school and a little bit old fashioned to some extent. And he probably didn't want to get away from the identity of them being a fashion house. It's always been about that for Eric. So I'm not surprised. And like Bree said, I can't be mad at Eric. I do feel like it could be, you know, if you're looking at the future, like when you're gone in 20 plus years or so, or, you know, however long he has left, what about the long-term future of the company? And that's what Carter is thinking about. That's why I think in the long run, Carter's ideas would be better for the company. But if Eric wants to keep it as purely a fashion house, that's his decision. And also, like Bree said, Carter, go ahead and start your own.
Yeah,
do all of those things for yourself.
And the other thing he was saying is that he hadn't had any debt in 40 years. He wasn't about to take on any now. And I don't blame him. I agree with that. I agree with that. But dang, y'all, we didn't got done with Bold because everything led up to today's episode. And we were wondering what this so-called war was going to look like. I thought maybe Eric and Brooke would have been as part of what happened today. But it seemed like it was pretty much, you know, just them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I will say, I love how they ended the show. That was that was very soapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to have him, because like we're seeing Lawrence with like some facial expressions that we don't really ever get from Carter. Carter's always the smiley guy,
right?
He's always the good, you know, the good guy, you know, tough out of luck when it comes to love, but always like kind of like this optimistic type of dude. But like today, to have him staring at that Forrester Creations logo with such rage and to say you're not gonna get away with this, that's a very soapy thing to do. So I really want to see how he proceeds going forward. I'm really interested in this.
Yeah. All right. What did y'all because I mean, I guess we can kind of run through. Did y'all have anything? Because hey, if I can do my weekly chat now, y'all can get y'all Friday night back, especially since there's 160 people in here. Plus Bree, I know you weren't going to be on tonight either, so if you got some stuff to say for Y&R while I got you and Jay here, we can, and you know, we got a big audience today anyway. What did y'all, let me see, I'm pulling up. So we had Phyllis going ballistic over Daniel's arrest. Nikki had a nasty confrontation with Victor. Sharon unravels a jarring development, and Phyllis team up with Cricket. Sally receives an unexpected request, and Lily puts Nikki on notice. And Sharon is spooked out by a dead Heather on Halloween, and Jill put Lily in a very unhappy mood. And then we had the situation with today. So y'all got anything on what happened this past week that sticks out to y'all?
I'm trying to think of what because I don't want to repeat too much of what I said on Wednesday night's chat. I'll talk about like Thursday and today's episode, especially regarding Lily. I think that's the only thing that really ticked me off this week. I cannot stand her. I cannot stand the way she treats her brother. She is just dodo in the head, talking about what she deserves and calling people jerks because they tell her to go over to her family's company where she belongs. And telling lies, and just I cannot stand this woman. I'm sorry. She was on the level of Poppy right now.
You're talking about Lily?
Because yes, like the way I was going in on Poppy before, like this is how I feel about Lily now. I've never seen a woman move like a stupid idiot. Look at this. Just the fact that how many people need to tell you that you're not going to be at the top level of that company. You'll never be CEO. You can be second in command, but that's as good as it gets. And then she's stupid enough to tell Nikki all of her plans, like, well, Jill is going to end up firing her son for me, and all the stuff that happened with with Odyssey 7, all the stuff that fell through. She's going to put me in my rightful place, and there won't be a position for you. Of course, the woman's going to go back to her husband with that information. And if he don't want you there, you're not going to be there.
What you think? I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I was going to say, and Jill let her know, look, I'm not going to fire my child for you. You got that special.
Right. I agree. I mean, for Carter to be upset and Lily to be upset that they're not getting what they want because they're only the employee of the company versus the owner, they need to go take several seats. A whole busload, in my opinion. What you think, Jay?
They'll start a company together.
Yeah, to touch on a couple of those things that you mentioned, the Sally thing, I think that was expected. That it would be about her designing the dress because of the big success that she had doing Victoria's. So that was to be expected, and hopefully with this time around, you know, they're gonna write it that she's gonna make Abby a gorgeous dress, and hopefully that can lead into something for her to do with her career, because they keep giving Sally these crumbs, these moments that are just like crumbs. Hey, it was a great moment. Oh wow, what an amazing dress, and then nothing comes of it. So hopefully something comes of this, and she can get back to designing. The Lily thing, I agree with some of the stuff you said, Bree, but one thing I will say, I actually do like the move of her lying. Only because we see these men, particularly Victor, do this all the time. And I said this in the chat. I do like that. Hey, she's stepping up. She's stepping up in to the big leagues with that kind of move. If everybody else is doing it and playing dirty when it comes to business, and she's actually been doing things, by the book all this time in her career, and now she's getting screwed over it. Let her go ahead and play dirty. Let her, do some lying and some scheming to get what she feels like she deserves. So I'm actually not mad at her for making that kind of a move. I think it is kind of weird that she just doesn't want to go ahead and work with her brother and Nate, but at the end of the day, it is her, that's her decision. She felt like she's invested into Chancellor, and she feels like that's where she should be. So I want to see what kind of moves she keeps making, because this is like a different kind of side of Lily that we haven't gotten before. So I kind of like it. I want to see how far she's willing to go.
Only difference there is that he's a billionaire and he got money and people in high places to make the moves that he's doing. Lily, she don't even want to follow her own legacy. At least he has one, and he's trying to use all of his resources to do what he wants to do. Lily is just being mad, running around in her feelings, not getting what she wants. And I mean, I hear what you're saying, Jay, but you're talking about somebody who have politicians on the payroll. He can finagle the police. He can do whatever he wants to because he's a billionaire, and he can do and move things the way he wants to. She's not in that position. She's nowhere near that.
True. But what I would say to that is, she's mad at Victor for how he tried to play her. But to get what she really wants, at least for the beginning part, she don't really need to do anything as far as going up against Victor. The main thing she really needs to try to do is to take down Billy to get him out of that spot so she can get it. And that's much easier for her to do than try to go up against Victor Newman. Like, if she can prove, because Billy is known for being a habitual screw up, right? So all she has to do is get Billy in a position where he would screw up again, which is a 50-50 chance with Billy. If she can get him up out of there and then get his spot, that's really what she wants.
Well,
so all she has to do is enough to get Jill to want. Now, it's like, as we saw, Jill ain't really gonna just throw her son away unless he does something to screw up where she has to.
Well, unless the truth comes out that she was the one that gave that information to Victor, and then Jill will have nothing to do with her because she stole proprietary information and gave it to Victor to use against her company.
And that's still in Victor's back pocket too, because he said he's going to have a conversation with Jill. He said he already knows what to do with Jill. That's on his back pocket. And on top of that, she handed her power over to her son. If something happens to Billy to where she needs to get rid of him, Jill's going to step in before Lily steps into that seat. She's not going to hand Lily her power.
Yeah.
Maybe she wouldn't hand Lily her power, but maybe Lily can get the position of power that she wants. It doesn't have to come with Jill's power per se, but like if Jill takes back her power from Billy and then gives Lily the CEO position, so she would still be under Jill, but she would have like the top executive position, I think Lily would be happy with that.
But that's what I'm trying to say, Jay.
No, and I was going to follow up with what you said. If it does come out, let's say it does come out that Lily did that, right? But then if Billy still turns around and does something really bad that messes up the company, and Jill still has to get him up out of there, I can see Jill still turning to Lily and giving her like the CEO spot.
After doing espionage, I don't know about that one.
Only if Billy does something, which is a 50-50 chance. Even if that comes out, right, but then Billy still proves to be a screw up and messes something up really bad for the company, I can still see Jill getting rid of him.
Yeah, I can't see that one.
Because you can blame Lily all you want for giving up the Odyssey stuff, but if he does something else outside of that to screw up the company, she's going to be really mad at Billy and get him up out of there too. Like, you know what I mean? Right now it hasn't truly hurt them, but if he turns around and starts making moves that he shouldn't be making and he messes up, I can still see Jill getting rid of him.
Well, she might get rid of him, but she ain't putting Lily back in there after committing espionage. It's just not gonna, I mean, that wouldn't make good business sense.
Right.
Because they both done things to each other. Like, you know, how she made the move she made, that when she made all of the Winters mad. Like, I don't know. Jill has done things to make Lily mad and make her distrust her too. So I don't think it's as, you know,
Jay,
black and white as that.
Jay, Lily needs to go back to her own legacy.
Yeah.
She don't want to, though.
She's so disrespectful. She's so disrespectful about that too. Now, this is what I'll say. But here's the thing, Jay. Jill, she runs, and I think she owns Chancellor. That is her company. Lily has absolutely no stake. She can want her job position all she wants. But if it comes out that Victor tells Jill about that Odyssey 7 thing, she's not going to give Lily an opportunity, no matter how badly her son screws up. She knows her son is a screw up, and she still handed all her power to him.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick that I don't think is really being considered. Devon is obviously, even though Victor kind of like gave him that little gift of gab to calm him down, Devon is not happy at how Victor did Lily, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, Devon is actually still family to the Chancellor industry. You know what I mean? Like, that was his grandmother's company. Now, Victor's sitting here waiting for his chance to scoop up that company when Billy screws up or something. What if Devon actually, behind the scenes, is working on the same thing to get the company back, and then he lets Lily run that?
I mean, that would be a twist if that's the direction that they would go.
Yeah,
because that low-key is his legacy too, if we're being honest.
It is. I was saying that yesterday.
And that would be a way for him to get back at Victor too.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, he's more focused on Lily going back over to Winters. He's not even really the least bit concerned with Chancellor. He didn't really want to do the merger. He did the merger stuff because of Lily. Now that the companies are separated, he was happy. He just wanted his sister over there. But for whatever reason, Lily is disregarding her father's company. And that's what her real legacy is. She doesn't even have a stake within Chancellor, which is why she's getting pushed around like the employee that she is.
Yeah,
because true. But with Devon's issues that he's had with Billy, because that's still a thing too, the dislike that he has for Billy, he would be able to knock out two birds with one stone by, kind of getting Victor back for playing his sister, and then wanting to get Billy back, which he's been wanting to do for a while now. And he may not want to run Chancellor, but I could totally see him getting that, because that was his grandmother's company. So he would be getting that legacy back and bringing it back into his family, and then letting his sister run it. Well, I can totally see Devon wanting to do that.
I don't know about the way she was acting and telling him that she wasn't coming to his wedding and all that type of stuff. That boy is hurting. He hated that his sister did that to him the other day. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he won't change his mind. It depends on whether or not they decide to go that route, which would be a crazy twist in itself. But as it stands, I saw the spoilers in the promo for next week. Look like Billy is begging Lily to come back. So and that's on Tuesday's episode. So I don't know what happened, but I guess we'll have to see, unless this is some type of plot.
Something up already.
Unless there's some type of plot that's happening, because we gotta expect the unexpected in a sweeps month. So I guess we'll have to see. What did y'all think about? Let's see what else happened this week, because that was the biggest thing really that went down. Oh, Sharon seeing Heather. What did y'all think? I know about Heather coming back as a zombie yesterday. I was like, you go, girl. They had her made up and everything.
The makeup job was tremendous.
Great job, the costume department. Great job.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Are we done? Are we done with Lyndon Ashby?
I guess so.
Being in her mind? Is it gonna be just Heather? And I know she had like a little hallucination of Nick talking to her as well. So I guess I guess his run is done then.
Yeah, I wasn't too interested. I'm thinking that he is because Sharon said that now that Cameron is gone, so I'm like, okay, I guess we're done with Lyndon Ashby. We also had this situation with Sally, Billy, and Connor and Chelsea, and I'm like, I really don't care. I'm just not feeling I'm not interested in Chelsea and Adam getting back together, and Billy and Sally, I'd rather see Tessa and Daniel. Sharon J.
Y'all killing me with this Tessa and Daniel stuff, bro. Yeah.
Look, I felt the same way about Hope and Carter. Okay, you got to eat this chip.
At least, come on now, Bree. At least Carter and Hope are bringing good drama. Even if you don't like them as a couple, and just bringing some good drama and some good performances. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not on that Daniel and Tessa boat. That's not me. But.
Okay, whatever, Jay. Hey, we gon' watch. Me and Bree and the Soapies, we gon' watch. Let's see. Oh yeah, Lily put Nikki on notice. Nikki don't know when to leave people alone. When somebody tell you I'd rather eat by myself, don't just sit down. Keep going. And Nikki is like, well, I want you to come over there and work with me. And Lily was like, well, your husband don't. He told me to go over there with my brother. Nikki looked like she was a deer in headlights. Because y'all, she got to realize after being married to that man for 40 years that Victor doesn't tell you the whole story to anything.
Yeah, she isn't she always like a deer in headlights? Wasn't it just last week when Jack was telling her about the Glissade investor and the fact that Victor was using it because of that night they had in the hotel that they both had almost lost their lives? Like, she's just a deer in headlight, and she want to go confront her husband. Her husband don't care. He's like, look, yeah, I did it, and what you gonna do? You gonna leave me for what?
Exactly. It's like, girl, you should know Victor already. And Victor's look like, okay, I can tell you I'm gonna do what I want to do. You can't tell me what to do. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what about Phyllis teaming up with Cricket, y'all? She said, I can't actually believe this, but I'm gonna actually agree with you. I'm gonna work with you. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
I guess anybody on her side is better than nobody. So the fact that that Christine's entertaining it, I think they're gonna definitely try to help Daniel out. Mm-hmm. So anything that cracks the code with this whole Sharon thing, I'm glad that Phyllis is at least on board with that. I was going to say mature, but no, she's on board with this specific thing right here, and good for her.
I agree. I think y'all got anything else y'all wanted to talk about for this week?
I'm looking at the picture. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the picture you got up, and are they trying to have Kyle's son put him and somebody back together? I mean, the way he was talking, you can kind of see it.
Absolutely.
But then him staring at them is kind of like, I'm like, oh, because we've talked about this before, how kids need to stay in their place, because you had Connor trying to tell Adam and Chelsea that they should have been back together, and now this little boy is doing it. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to put him, because next week Summer is going to try to undermine the Claire and Kyle's relationship. I think it's like next Thursday.
Yep, she didn't put Chance in the back seat.
That's what I said. She didn't even officially break up with Chance, right? They still together, ain't they?
Yeah, but because of this Daniel thing, they're going to start to have problems. And then Summer, because of everything that happened in today's episode, she's going to want that man back. And she's not going to be happy about Claire and him building a relationship. And she's going to try to undermine it. So the cracks are forming in Summer and Chance.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, they already formed. She says she can't trust this man, especially since he don't believe her brother. So she's she put that man in past tense.
Yep.
And that she mentally broke up with that man already. But I'm okay with Harrison trying to play matchmaker. All these little kids and them trying to play matchmaker. It was just a couple weeks ago, Elizabeth was trying to do that for Liam and Hope, and you got Connor. Like, they're at the correct age to do that. It's only when these grown kids are trying to put their parents back together, like Steffy.
Like Steffy? Yeah. Probably that, man.
And did y'all see Johnny? Johnny sound like a grown man. I'm like, dang.
He got some bass in his voice.
I'm like, these kids grow up fast. Connor then got taller.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say, and I said this in the chat too. Get ready for. I see a lazy swap happening with this. When Summer and Kyle eventually get back together, I think they're gonna put Claire with Chance. I think they'll do a lazy swap.
Claire and Chance.
I think they're gonna do a lazy swap and just have that be the situation where he ends up getting with Claire after Summer leaves and goes back to Kyle.
I know one thing. Chance should be tired of dealing with a Newman woman over there. I mean, that would be number 4 for him, wouldn't it?
Yep.
4? Who he's had what?
Sharon.
Okay. Sharon. Oh, but Sharon's a woman by marriage, so when we talking true Newman, I won't count her as that.
Okay. Well, then she's still claiming that last name even after Ray. But I was going to say Sharon, Summer, and Abby.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I'll say Summer and Abby, and then this will be like the third official.
No, I can't.
Like, sorta.
Yeah, Summer, Abby, and then, if they put, I don't know about that one, Jay. I can't see that one.
I think they're gonna do it kind of like they're doing with Billy and Sally. I think it's gonna be a lazy swap.
Well, if you want to, go ahead, Bree.
I was going to say, Jenna, get your man to keep him away from Claire. We don't want to see that happen. Jenna and I don't want to see that.
Belinda said, J Money, ew. Claire and Chance, no, please no.
Mark my words, Belinda. I think that's what they're going to do.
Jenna, get your man away from Claire.
I know, right? Oh, my goodness. But Jay
stranger things that happen.
Jay did call it a lazy swap, so that could be possible. It'd be lazy enough so much that it's boring. They need that girl ain't even been with her first official man yet in that way. So the way she's claiming, she still got her V card.
Do y'all think Kyle gets it before he goes back to Summer? If he do, and then he leave her, we can see Crazy Claire back. That might make her snap.
It could. She wants, because she fall in love hard with this man. This is her first real relationship, and if he sleeps with her, it's her first time, and she could go kind of. If he go back to his ex.
Jenna said, "I wanted Kyle to be Claire's first." Everybody in here bashing Claire, but I like Claire and Kyle. I really don't want to see him going back with Summer. At least I wasn't hoping for that for maybe like a couple of years. And I like Summer and Chance too, so I'm not really looking forward to them ending both of those two ships.
Summer and Chance, that ship ended probably last fall because we were all excited about it, and they just jacked that up.
You know what, like you know how soda, like once you open it and you let it sit out for like a couple of days, there's no bubbles or like none of that. It goes completely flat. That is exactly what the relationship is.
Yeah, but see, that goes to the writing though, because we've talked about it. They're not giving us any romance. It's been sharing morbid drama after morbid drama, and then they're not writing these couples to have any romantic moments. To where they can build on it.
I get that, but Summer is not going to give any to Chance after he arrested her brother. She made that clear.
Yep.
So she put the end on that, and then he also got Harrison, who wants his parents together. He said, "Mommy, I want you to come live back over here with us." Claire got a lot to compete with. And on top of that, Summer's a whole woman who's actually been with Kyle. And she knows the ins and outs of that man in that house. She got to grow up. Claire got to grow up real quick if she want to keep that man.
But Linda, you just took the thought right out of my mind that I was just considering that. She said if Kyle hits it, I bet Claire will get pregnant her first time. And I was thinking that too. And then Summer will get back with this man and he'll have another baby by another woman when she get with him.
Oof.
It'll be his second child with another woman.
Now that would be crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Anyway, what else y'all got for this week?
I'm trying to think.
Much it.
Yeah, I think that is. I think we covered it all.
By the way, didn't Victor pretty much tell this boy not to get involved with Claire either?
Yep.
So he's gonna lose his position regardless, whether Diane gets the gig or not.
Well, that was the other thing this week.
Yeah,
that was the other thing this week. Diane moved out, and now she talks to Victor, and Victor. Well, my thing is we never got to see yet what Diane is going to do to prove loyalty to Victor. Remember, he was like, you got to figure out something to prove it to me. And she was like, okay, I got something in mind.
Yeah, she's gonna have to discuss that with Jack because, like as I said, I think this is all a ploy anyway. So her and Jack will have to get together in like her hotel room or whatever to decide how they're gonna play that out. Because I still think this is all a plot.
Now Bree is on the opposite side of that.
Yeah, I think it's Diane because didn't Kyle say that his father filed for an annulment?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's extreme. That is extreme. But at the same token, we haven't seen any scenes, unless they'll do flashbacks, of those two even having a conversation together. Like everything, the way that she talks, the way that she speaks, I think she's working by herself. I really feel that way. I'll keep watching the show, but I haven't seen anything to show that they're working together. And I think it's really extreme for one, Jack's filing for an annulment, not her. So what could she show to show proof that she's working alone and that she wants revenge? What is she about to do?
Well, that's nothing new, right? The person that's in the position of all the power and the money would be the person to file for the annulment, right? So I don't think that is a tell one way or the other. But one thing I will say, it's like little subtleties that you got to look for. When they were at the athletic club and Kyle left and walked away, and then Jack followed him, it was a look he gave Diane when he walked away that made me think, he has to keep up appearances, so he walked out with Kyle. It's little things like that I look out for that kind of convinces me more and more that it's a plot and they're just both playing their parts very well.
Gotcha.
At least that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we'll see if this, because a lot of folks are thinking that this is some plan or plot, and then like you, Bree, you thinking Diane might be working alone, or it's just falling apart. So I don't know. It probably is going to be revealed as we get into sweeps month, but I gotta tell you, it's a lot of bombshells happening on both these shows, and I think they're doing one heck of a good job with November sweeps. I mean, the last sweeps that we had in May and February, it was we had, like I said, in November last year, we had Jordan and that whole situation with Nikki, and then we had Eric and the coughing up the blood and all that, which was terrible. Not Jordan, but Bold was terrible to me. I did not enjoy that at all. But I'm telling you, they are cutting up this year, and I think Bold is now pushing the envelope because they're trying to secure another contract. So if they need to go all out, y'all go all out, and we gonna enjoy every minute of it.
And they see the gates firing up, right? So they probably we gotta put it this work so we can keep our spot too.
I can't wait to talk about the gates, especially the men of the gates. Oh my goodness, I keep seeing the pictures. I was like, yes.
Yeah, they got a good looking crew. They got a good looking group of folks.
Bree gonna have so many men. We ain't gonna be able to keep count with Bree. Goodness gracious.
No. Well, no, I done traded a few of them in. I said that.
Yeah, I whatever the sense.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Luna's, because Aisha and TA was talking about Luna and Poppy. Yeah, I'm glad to see that they back. They've been gone for a good month and a half. So we'll see what they got going on. Look like Poppy is gonna confront her daughter in prison.
Hey, Luna knows she's fine. When you come out there wearing prison clothes and you still look good, that girl at the little end of the display, I said, okay, she actually making that prison blue work for her.
Oh, Lord, yes. I'm curious to see what their storyline is for the sweeps month too. So maybe she get out on a technicality and give a lecturer a run for her money.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think that boy want her.
You know what? I got a question. I don't know why it popped in my head. What if, with all of this war going on and what happened with Hope, what if this brings Thomas back?
I was thinking that too. Because there's a lot going on.
But would Thomas come back alone? I think that's also another question.
That's a good question. Because I would assume, because I know his wife was due in October, maybe they just haven't made any official announcements and keeping it under wraps and stuff. But I would think she would have had a baby by now.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
definitely.
Which means that if Matt Atkinson, because he's still on the credit roll, I'm wondering if maybe he's on his way back. That would be nice. That's not a spoiler, you guys. This is just speculation. So,
and just to step backwards real quick for a second on the Luna thing, with this being November sweeps, I would love to see her get a visitor, and like the camera pans at the feet first, and then it pans up, and it's Zende. Because I need to see a continuation after she said that boy was the best she ever had. I need Zende to go talk to her. And just go see what's up. Go see what's up with Lil Miss, see how she doing, bro. Like,
you want to see those two together?
I still want my Luna and Zende.
Honestly, they got a lot of chemistry. They just went about it the wrong way.
No, I still want my Luna and Zende. I want my Zuna.
I mean,
they went about it the wrong way, Bree, because even that scene, unfortunately, when they were sleeping together, it wasn't,
I completely agree with you both. I just have a different thought. I'll share it in our group chat.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
We don't even have to go to the bed scene. Just that whole scene where he had made the date. He tricked her into the date. Even the chemistry they had there, when like she kissed him on the cheek, he was like, "Can I at least get a kiss on the cheek?" The chemistry, even in that scene alone, was more than anything she had with RJ.
Right. Well,
see, that's who I want to go visit her. I want him to go visit her. I want her to for her to tell him in his face that, yeah, Zende was the best I've ever had. I want that. I want her to be so petty and so vindictive and evil for being in that prison because she's so mad with his sister. That's who I want to go visit her.
Mm-hmm.
That would be funny to me.
That would be funny.
David Hall said, Zende cracked Luna's fortune cook.
Oh,
let's.
My
goodness!
Wow,
really, y'all need to stop it. Anyway, I'm trying to think what else is going on because some spoilers came out for Young and the Restless. I don't think they're out for Bold yet. Let me see. So, Phyllis actually corners Sharon. Daniel pushes for justice. Christine keeping secrets. Diane giving out cryptic messages. We got the 13,000 episode with the return of the Newman Ranch.
Oh, that's right.
Daniel's arrest once again sends shockwaves through Summer and Chan's lives. So yeah, that, and then something about Tracy stuns Alan with a surprise that hints at an unexpected storyline. I don't know. I think that's Martin. I'm on your side with you on this one with you, Bree. I know for a while I was saying, oh, the shirt, the collared shirt, but I don't know. I think it might be Martin.
They would have to revisit that, because one thing I hate is horrible continuity. If they make this man Martin, but they don't mention them shirts, and I know that might seem like a little, like something little, but no. Like, you gotta go back. Like, you gotta show us in flashbacks that he switched the shirts or something. Because I'm gonna be a little upset if they just throw that at us and don't give us any tracking.
Right.
I agree with that.
Yep.
If they could do that, that's an easy fix. They can just show a scene where they both were changing clothes. Like, he could have spilled something on his shirt, changed it. Like, anything could have happened. But this is definitely Martin. And we're also getting Ashley back pretty soon.
She should be back because the wedding is next week. It's next Friday. So it wouldn't surprise me that if, Tracy comes to that wedding, Ashley, is back. She's going to notice the difference. If it's Martin.
I think Martin's going to end up triggering Ashley, and that's how she's going to know.
Yep, I agree with that. That's a possibility, girl.
At the end of the day, though, I hope it's not. Only because I want to see Tracy happy.
Yeah,
that woman deserves to be happy. So I hope it's not, but it would be the juicy thing to do, and I think that's why a lot of us be thinking it's Martin, because it's such a juicy thing to do, to make that switch.
Exactly.
Also, can we call out Phyllis, though? Because we talked about this a lot with Steffy when she kept chasing the boogeyman and Sheila. If you suspect somebody is a murderer, why are you trying to
unaliver?
Oh, I'm so sorry. If you suspect somebody is an unaliver, why are you trying to corner them? Like, we need to call Phyllis out like we was calling Steffy out. And I know Phyllis can kind of handle herself, but, like, still, you don't do that. Let the police do their job, or at least don't approach somebody that you think is capable of doing that. That makes no sense.
Hey, Jay, when do Phyllis ever sit back and allow anything to just happen?
Very true, but goodness, how old is she now? Is she ever going to learn her lesson?
Go ahead, Bree.
But didn't Daniel just do the same thing? He actually went over to Sharon's house. I feel that's actually worse, especially since he's the one being accused. And they can look at that as, like, trying to, like, threaten Sharon.
But Daniel's mindset isn't as the same as Phyllis.
Well, he's supposed to try to. He's going to confront Sharon again next Wednesday or Thursday before he get arrested again for good. So they don't learn. It's like a police investigation. You can make it worse by doing what you're doing.
That is true.
All right, y'all, let's flip some scripts then. What y'all got for Young and the Restless?
I would have had. I'm sorry, but you want to go first?
Oh, go for it, sir.
I would have had Nate tell that Amy lady to kick rocks and be like, "You kept that secret all these years, and now you want to put all of this on me." I would have said, "No, if you find him, that's cool. Maybe you can give him my number and we can connect if we brothers, but I'm not finna go out here and do all of this for you."
I agree with you on that one. What you got, Bree?
I was going to say, when Nikki came into the office and told Victor about what Lily told her about Jill, I wanted him to actually call Jill and nip it in the bud.
I heard that.
And let her know about the Odyssey 7 still.
I agree with you on that one. I would have want to go ahead and see some action between Tessa and Daniel today, since the restaurant was locked up. They could have cut the lights down after they took out. Shut up, Jay. Jay is not happy about that at all. What's the matter, Jay?
I don't like it.
Look at you. I don't like it. Oh man. All right, what y'all flipping on bold?
I would have had Hope not look like such a bumbling idiot and come up with something. My goodness, like, do you have no? It really looks like she has no creativity at all. She doesn't design for her own line. She can't come up with a lie. Like, yeah, I would have just had her at least come up with a decent excuse.
What you got, Bree?
Honestly, I would have had Ridge side with Hope over Steffy. And then Steffy walks, takes her percentage, and starts her own company.
That would have been something else. I like that. I don't know. I kind of would have. Me myself, I think I would have just had Hope call it out. Yeah, I'm dating Carter. So what? It wasn't for your stanky husband. It was for my man Carter. Now what? I got the chocolate. So what?
Okay.
Steph would be looking like, oh. I mean, you might be fired, but oh, okay.
He's at the chocolate factory.
Steffy be like, I had his brother, so I know why you like it.
Oh. Oh. Jay. Oh my God, y'all funny. All right, who's taking some seats? Oh, did you get everybody got theirs in for bowl? Okay, who taking a seat over at Y&R? Lily.
Oh yes, without question. Give that woman a seat all to herself. That's the main one. I can't think of anybody else. Her. By herself.
Man, I'm still thinking about Carter's abs. God. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna get that same seat too.
They see him a lot next week.
Listen, Jay, I hope you're right that when we come back next week, they head home and they tear the walls down in his condo.
Yeah, because you don't say just get me out of here like that, kiss that man like that, and then he got that rage looking at that sign. He about to take that. You know what? He about to take that anger out on. I ain't even gonna say it.
Yeah, you know we got to rein you in, Jay, because you might say something.
Y'all in the chat know Aisha Jackson. You know Myra D. Flores. You know what he gonna take that anger out on. When he said they're not gonna get away with this, and he's gonna handle business next week. So I think you're gonna see abs up.
You think this man crashing out right now? Wait to Hope give him some.
Girl,
I hope you're right.
Talking about crashing out.
They didn't hint at that at all for the previews, but we shall see.
Oh my God. I know they didn't hint at it and the spoilers aren't out yet, but I mean, after all that and they kissing in that parking lot, I mean, if you could kiss that man in a Forrester parking lot where everybody in that building know who Hope Logan is and who Carter Walton is, she should have been able to say who she was dressing up for.
Pound Town.
Myra said Pound Town.
Wow.
My soapies are crazy. Especially you, Jay. You funny.
Yeah.
All right. Who's taking seats on bowl?
Oh, Carter. He and Lily, they gotta be in the same tuna can. And they can float away to the Lulu Island. We're not even giving them a proper seat. We're going to put them in a tuna can and they can float away.
Well, listen, Hope should take a seat this week for dressing up in that office without knowing whether Carter was even there. The man had left for the day. And she was there waiting on him. If nobody came in that room, would she still be sitting there waiting on him?
Probably so, but here's my thing though. This is Miss Lock the Door. Why didn't she lock the door?
Oh, wait a minute. Don't read it. But you see what David Hall just put in the chat? Oh my God.
And just say,
David. That's the acronym we taught to you a couple of weeks ago. That's the damage.
I know. But here's the other thing about Hope taking a seat. She about to go over to Carter's condo and take a seat on him. Like she did Thomas when she, rode that surfboard. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is. And for my take a seat for Bold, I'm going to have to give it for Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Because that man kind of a punk. Because correct me if I'm wrong, he wasn't there. Like he had left by the time Steffy fired her. Was he gone by then?
Yeah, he had to go to the doctor office.
Yeah, so he sat there, was all up in there. He could have spoke up a little bit more and did something. That boy left. To save his
versus Toyota Highlander.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry. My computer just started talking. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was saying, like, he got up out of there. So, he got up out of there quick, saved his own hide. And so, yeah, he could take a seat because he could have kind of, he could have kind of calmed that down a little bit. But he just got up out of there. So I'm going to give it to Finn.
Okay. All right. Everybody got it in? Okay. Who's y'all star of the week?
For Y&R, I'm going to give it to Val Bloom.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Who plays Heather. Like, I'm going to definitely give it to her.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give that to her. She got a nice little chance to come back in a different kind of role. And she, she did a great job with it. So, yeah, I'll give it to Val as well.
All right. And what about Bold Star?
You know what? I'm going to give it to Lawrence again. I gave it to him the other week, too, just because, I like the moves that he was making, and like the little facial expressions, and it looks like something's developing. So I'll go ahead and give it to Lawrence St. Victor again.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to something different. I'm going to give it to the lock on that Forrester door. It's been giving us a lot of great drama for November sleep.
Girl, you crazy. Nobody locks the door. I mean, the lock is like, shoot, yeah, I'm going to just keep opening up because y'all don't know what to do, and we're going to enjoy the content. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what? That really is a great call, Bree, because Brooke walked in on them to begin the week, and then Steffi walked in on Hope and Finn. So, yeah, you're right. Kudos to that unlocked door.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, pickle of the week.
Give it to Nikki and to Lily. They both of them, and also Diane. The stuff that flew out that woman's mouth.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Lily. Lily got on my nerves. She lying and then she talked crazy to her brother. Yeah, she gets a big old pickle this week. Maybe she need one. Anyway,
I'm gonna give mine to Victor just because that man is so unbothered. And the way he just talked to his wife and not really giving a damn and doing what he wants, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Victor.
Okay. And then the Simp Olympics. Who wins the platinum medal for Young and the Restless?
For Young and the Restless.
Was there any really simpish? Because Nate was dealing with the Amy and hidden brother thing, so he wasn't really simpish this week, right?
I give it to Adam because he know in one breath he want to be around Chelsea, and then you trying to talk Sally, and Sally had to tell him no, you three look like a family, so why don't you just go be over there?
That's a good point. I'll give it to Adam.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give it to Adam. Mm-hmm.
And 2 weeks in a row for Bold, we'll give it to Carter. This man is crashing out over this girl.
But he's a champion, though. He is proud to be a platinum Simp Award recipient. We got to give him a round of applause for that. Good for him. He's showing out.
What you think, Jay? What you got for Bold?
I'll give it to Carter but it's a strong sip this week. I'll give him that, and I think it's finally going to pay off for him next week. So, yeah, we'll give it to Carter again this week, but I think it's going to pay dividends for him.
Okay.
Melissa Spencer said Hope is about to get Carter's pickle next week.
Oh, no, that is true. And what time of the day is it? It's about 3:30, and y'all acting like that? That is insane.
They're ready for the weekend.
I know.
It's a reason why the song is called Afternoon Delight.
Oh.
All right, y'all got y'all weekly chat in early today. I'm glad I was able to get y'all on. I know, Bree, you got to get back to your son. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. I really appreciate it. You too, Jay. You wanted to pop in and say some stuff, and we had a big crowd in here, so I said we might as well take advantage if y'all were able to in order to do our weekly recap and, get it out the way, and y'all can do y'all Friday evening.
Oh, well, I will be up with a child. But you guys enjoy your weekend, enjoy your night. I'll be up with a
T, did you see David Hall's last comment?
Oh, let me see. It won't. Oh, you know what? See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all crazy. Y'all. Did you see
I feel like David and
before that, I think Aisha Jackson said in regards to Carter, I thought he was the pickle.
Oh, Lord. And it ain't even after 7 o'clock, and y'all acting up. I can't take y'all nowhere.
It looked like Hope getting her Halloween chocolate bar a couple of days later, but she gonna get it.
Listen, they better give us. What you say, please?
And she's the trick.
She's the trick getting her treat next week.
They better show us all of it. Don't play. Because I have a feeling, I agree with you, Jay, after what happened in that parking lot, they better not just flip to some scene over at the Forrester Mansion.
I better see Hope up against that wall or that bookcase just like Quinn was. I want to see her gasping. I want to see it all. Like you said, T, they better show it all.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening. I think
you know what? We should have flipped is Liam coming up there to see Hope to try to get her back, and she catch the two of them in that parking lot kissing.
Oh.
And then he would have been looking at her like he looked at Hope kissing Thomas, and then you would have to use that same song for that.
Right.
For that moment. The same song, T.
I know. Oh my God, that same song that I did back last year when he walked up and saw her kissing Thomas. I mean, walked up when he saw her kissing Thomas. Yeah, and if Liam showed up and seeing her kissing Carter, that would have been crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that we might get a love scene, but I honestly think this man's going to take her over to her mama's house because Brooke's going to find out somehow.
See, they should have had Liam catch that, and we hear him say, "Damn, I can't compete with that." Ivy's still in the
Shut up, Jay. You stupid.
Where Ivy at?
Oh my God, y'all crazy. That is so funny. Alright, we had fun on this one. Man, I'm glad I was able to get all y'all involved. Stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of November 4th through the 8th. We are officially in November sweeps. It started yesterday, but the November sweeps are sweeping on both soaps. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Belinda. She said this was so much fun. Yeah, I appreciate it. And y'all can get y'all Friday night back. Go and do some spa stuff, some shopping. Make it a date night with your significant other. Enjoy your Friday night. Or just sit back, and if you missed half of this show, you can always replay it on YouTube. So,
and if y'all got significant others, like T said, since y'all have y'all Friday nights now, go get y'all pickles.
Oh, you know what, Jay?
Take a seat, Jay.
Take several seats, Jay. All right, you guys, we're going to end it here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. I am T from Soap Corner Talk, and this was also who?
I am Bree, and thank you for the well wishes, guys.
And I'm J Money. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.